assault lasted only minutes, but what he was effectively telling me while he held my genitals in his hand was that he held the power, that he was in control.
Oh my goodness, you won't believe the absolute chaos unfolding in Hollywood right now. Diddy's empire is literally crumbling before our eyes, and honey, he's not the only one. The industry's biggest players are falling like dominoes, facing both civil and criminal charges. But let me tell you, Diddy's downfall? It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. Each new revelation is more shocking than the last. And here's the scalding hot tea. We should have seen this coming, darlings. Back in 2016, Terry Crews tried to warn us all during the Harvey Weinstein scandal. He dropped some major hints about this disturbing men's club in Hollywood that preyed on newcomers. And get this, he even hinted at Diddy's alleged obsession with controlling young male talent. Now think about this for a second. If someone like Terry Crews, a former NFL linebacker standing 6 feet 4 inches and built like a superhero with 240 pounds of pure muscle, could be victimized. Just imagine what these young, vulnerable artists might have gone through with these so-called industry mentors, especially someone as powerful as Brother Love himself. The tea just keeps getting hotter. In 2017, Terry spilled everything in a series of viral tweets that had everyone shook. This was right when the Me Too movement was exploding, and Harvey Weinstein, who allegedly ran in the same circles as Diddy and showed up at his infamous parties, was being exposed left and right. Terry just couldn't stay quiet anymore, and honey, when he started talking, jaws were dropping everywhere. In one of his most explosive tweets, Terry wrote, "This whole thing with Harvey Weinstein is giving me PTSD. Why? Because this kind of thing happened to me." He went on to say, "I understand and empathize with those who have remained silent, but Harvey Weinstein is not the only perpetrator." Chile, the way he emphasized that last part had everyone's wheels turning.
I was by Adam Bennett, who was the head of the motion picture department at William Morris Endeavor.
During this absolutely explosive ABC News interview, Terry finally named names. The perpetrator? Adam Bennett, a Hollywood super agent whose client list would make your head spin. We're talking about someone who could literally make or break your entire career with one phone call.
You're talking about a very, very powerful man who has access to studio heads. What they do affects every part of the business, from producers, writers, actors. They own finance companies, the whole thing.
Now here's where it gets juicy. Adam Bennett was reportedly a regular at Diddy's notorious parties. And the way Terry described what happened to him? It's giving very similar vibes to what people are saying about Diddy's behavior. The wildest part? Terry had never even met Bennett before this happened. This man just walked up to him and started getting handsy like he owned the place.
You know him before the party?
And I did not know him. I heard of him. We had never, ever even had a conversation. He looked me in my eyes and he was sticking his tongue out, overtly to me. I mean, it was no mistake that this was a type tongue move. And I'm going, and I'm thinking it's a joke. I'm thinking, is this how this guy breaks the ice? I don't understand what this is.
Confused, Crews said he reached out to shake his hand.
I reached my hand out and he takes his right hand and under mine and immediately grabs my genitals and I'm jumping like, hey, hey.
Let me tell you why this sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Bennett didn't target some newbie trying to make it big. He went after Terry Crews, an established star. People started wondering if he's bold enough to do this to Terry Crews. What might he have done to those desperate newcomers who needed his connections to make it in the industry?
And he jumps back and he still does this tongue stuff and he's making weird noises and then he comes back again and grabs me again. And I slap his hand away, push him back more forcefully, and I'm like, what are you doing?
But wait, it gets even more disturbing. This creep had the audacity to try it twice, right in front of Terry's wife. Can you believe the nerve? Bennett was so confident in his power that he didn't care who was watching. He just assumed nobody would dare speak up against him. The entitlement is just, I can't even.
She's witnessing the entire thing.
She's witnessing the whole thing. And we're just, I can't even begin to describe to you how bizarre this is. It's so bizarre. I wake up every morning like, is this a bad dream?
Now, some people had the nerve to question Terry's story, like, how could someone your size be victimized? But listen to this. Terry was absolutely fuming, but his wife had to remind him what was at stake. One wrong move, and his entire career could have gone up in smoke. In a heartbreaking moment of reality, they chose to stay quiet to protect everything they'd built. Can you imagine having to swallow that kind of pain and humiliation?
Former NFL linebacker, 6'3", 240 pounds, just muscles everywhere. How could he be a...
That plays into the total stereotype of black men. I felt nothing but rage, Mike. But my wife prepared me. She said, Terry, you cannot handle these kind of things with violence. You can't hit back, because if you hit people and if you do this stuff.
And this right here is the million-dollar question that's keeping everyone up at night. If Terry Crews, with all his physical strength and established career, felt completely powerless, what chance did these young, naive artists have against someone like Diddy? The thought is absolutely chilling.
You know how close I came to losing it all. Just when you get emasculated like that. When I tell you, the way he looked at me, the way he giggled, it was one of those things where he was like, hey man, no one's ever gonna believe you.
The truth is, back then, these Hollywood bigwigs thought they were absolutely untouchable. But now, with Diddy's indictment, it's like someone finally opened Pandora's box. Looking back, Terry Crews was trying to warn us all along. He kept hinting that there were others just as powerful as Bennett lurking in the shadows of Hollywood.
Well, this whole thing, from Weinstein to all what's happening in Hollywood, is about an abuse of power, an abuse of the position you have. And what happens is they have fooled everyone into thinking it was part of the job.
Terry dropped this absolute bomb. This kind of exploitation had become so normalized that young talents felt they had no choice but to trade their dignity for a shot at stardom. Some people thought he was exaggerating, but when he testified in front of that Senate committee, everything changed. That testimony was the moment people finally started taking him seriously and seeing the bigger picture.
Past year, we have seen powerful men in Hollywood and elsewhere finally held accountable for and we also saw the backlash survivors faced after coming forward. I wanted these survivors to know that I believed them, I supported them, and that this happened to me too. This encouraged me to come forward with my own experience and reflect.
And wouldn't you know it, the exact same pattern emerged with Diddy's case. It wasn't until Cassie, his former partner, found the incredible courage to come forward with her horrifying allegations that others started speaking up too. Her bravery kicked off what might be the biggest scandal Hollywood has ever seen. And trust me, that's saying something. People are now connecting all the dots, and many are speculating that only at Diddy's infamous parties would someone be bold enough to act so openly inappropriate. When the Senate committee asked Terry why he didn't react in the moment, his answer left everyone absolutely speechless and showed just how deep this power dynamic runs in the industry.
You're a big, powerful man. Why didn't you?
Senator, as a black man in America.
Say it as it is. I think it's important.
You only have a few shots at success. You only have a few chances to make yourself a viable member of the community.
Chile, with all these bombshells dropping left and right, Hollywood's elite are finally getting their long overdue wake-up call. And trust me, my darlings, this is just the beginning of what's looking like a massive industry-wide cleanup. The walls are finally coming down around these powerful figures, and it seems like no one is safe anymore. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to stay in the loop, because honey, this tea is just starting to boil. The truth is finally coming out, and it's more shocking than anyone could have imagined. Remember, in Hollywood, secrets don't stay buried forever, and right now, they're spilling out faster than anyone can keep up with. Stay tuned for more jaw-dropping updates straight from the entertainment capital of the world.